she's already suffering from osteoporosis, but in prison they don't allow prisoners, I guess at least in this particular prison, Raja prison, to wear shoes. So they have to wear slippers. And during the day, they are given an hour to walk. And so today, either today or yesterday, while walking, she fell and either broke her foot or seriously injured it. And she said the doctors won't see her until tomorrow. So for now, she has just wrapped up the leg in a piece of cloth. And so she was asking for prayers. So if you get a chance, please have her and Mahvash, Fariba, and all the other prisoners of conscience in your thoughts and prayers. She would appreciate that. This is Mahvash again. At the time, Mahvash and I had a special relationship. You know, in the West, it's quite normal to have girlfriends, to have people who you deeply care about, and even share those stories with everybody. But in the 1970s, Iran, even though it was a more open society than today's Iran, you didn't go around, if you were a teenager, you wouldn't go around and tell people, hey, I've fallen in love with so-and-so. Especially if you were a Baha'i and the other person was non-Baha'i, like a Muslim, which was the case with Mahvash. Mahvash had fallen in love with a young Muslim man. You'll see a picture or a couple of pictures of him later. And at that same time, I was in love with my current wife, Farnaz. And so we were not only cousins and friends, but we also were each other's confidants. For many hours, we would sat at her home's porch, I still remember, and just talk. She would talk about Siavash, I would talk about Farnaz. And so to this day, whenever we talk, we reminisce about those days. This is the man. Siavash was at the time a Muslim and very much in love with Mahvash, but he came from a very traditional Muslim family, so his parents were completely against the marriage. And over time, Mahvash, through exemplary behavior, changed them, and they eventually consented to the marriage. And today, you see, this is another picture of Mahvash shortly before marriage. Eventually they got married, and they have two children, a boy by the name of Furud and a girl by the name of Negar. This is from many years ago. Both Negar and Furud now have their own families. Negar, the little girl, actually, now imagine as a parent, you raise a kid for like 20 years and you're dreaming time and again for the wedding day, the engagement day. Well, Mahvash was no exception. But in her case, on the engagement day, the Ministry of Intelligence officers actually took her away. So she could not be even in her own girl's engagement party. This was one of the many times that she's been arrested. This is another picture of Mahvash and Siavash with their two children. And this is one of the more recent pictures of them before Mahvash's arrest. This is the Mahvash that I saw in 2004 when I went back after 25 years. Mahvash is on the right. The person in the middle is their younger brother, Hormoz. And then to the left, you see Parivash, Mahvash's younger sister, who has been my conduit to Mahvash over the past few months. And Parivash is also in her own rank a very lovely, lovely person, and so is Hormoz. So I'm very grateful for their wonderful relationship with me. And this, of course, is the inseparable twins, Mahvash and Fariba. And the insignia that you see up there, actually, the Baha'is of Iran put that together, and I have a crude translation up there. Women made of light, hard as steel, as beautiful as the rose, and from the lineage of Waratul Ain. And for those of you who don't know who Waratul Ain was, Dr. Milani actually mentioned her as well. She was a courageous woman who in mid-1840s in Persia actually taught and fought for gender equality and eventually lost her life over that. She appeared unveiled in 1848 in a society quite closed. and eventually lost their life for those beliefs.